Los psiquiatras insisten en que un test de salud mental sería beneficioso para todos. Pero ¿es esto cierto? ¿Y cuáles son los riesgos? En el 2003, un grupo de asesoramiento presidencial conocido como la Comisión Nueva Libertad para la Salud Mental publicó un programa exhaustivo con su estrategia de realizar test en importantes áreas de la sociedad americana por cualquier señal de enfermedad mental. Algunas de sus metas incluían programas que crean detección temprana de la enfermedad mental, aumentar el papel de los colegios en la diagnosis y tratamiento de los problemas mentales, y la expansión del uso de los test de salud mental más allá del diván del psiquiatra y en los consultorios de los médicos generales.
It's going to screen the population for mental health. The whole population. They're going to do it by stages, starting with school children, of course.
Hasta ahora los test de salud mental obligatorios no son aún una realidad, salvo para unas pequeñas áreas de la sociedad. Una de ellas consiste en la más impotente y más privada de derechos de todos, el albergue para niños.
A child goes into foster care, they label the child with some kind of a psychological problem. The child is immediately sent to therapy. Well, the therapist will say, well, I believe the child needs to be on something. So they recommend that the child see a psychiatrist to have the drug administered.
Out of the 60, 65 families that I see, easily 90% of the kids they have the mental health diagnosis to begin with. If they get it from a psychiatrist, it almost always comes with meds. And I think that we see identified as at-risk kids in the community, and we see some of the most intense situations. And a lot of them are on 4 or 5 different meds.
I've seen children that the day they're taken out of their parents' custody and placed into state custody actually seem happy, healthy, vibrant, energetic. And then, 2 months later, after they've begun taking these medications, they are very slow. They are zombie-like, is the best way to describe it.
Hoy todos los niños que entran en el sistema de albergues de Texas reciben test de salud mental. El resultado, el 60% de la población de niños en albergue del estado se ha diagnosticado y se le ha puesto en por lo menos un fármaco psiquiátrico, incluyendo algunos niños tan pequeños como de 3 años. Y es peor en otros estados. En Massachusetts, por ejemplo, a 2/3 de los niños bajo cuidado estatal se les trata por enfermedad mental. Nacionalmente, a los niños en el sistema de albergue se les droga a un ritmo más allá del triple del índice de la población infantil en general, como es el caso del niño en albergue de 7 años, Gabriel Myers, que tomaba 2 poderosos fármacos psicotrópicos, uno con un aviso de la FDA por causar pensamientos suicidas en los niños, cuando se colgó con la manguera de la ducha. Otro segmento del mercado son los soldados en servicio activo, a quienes se les hacen test como una cosa de rutina en las clínicas militares. Se les califica con un trastorno mental y se les dan fármacos poderosos que potencialmente inducen a la violencia.
Iraq wasn't like Vietnam. There weren't illegal drugs everywhere. But there were drugs everywhere because, every guy on post, they knew all they needed to do was go down and see the combat stress unit, the shrink, and he was the drug dealer on post for us.
Almost everybody that saw the body or experienced the event were put on some sort of psychotropic medication.
Some bases where my friends were at, my fellow veterans were at, everyone, the whole platoon was on drugs.
I would say about 75% of active duty military is addicted to some type of psychotropic drug.
You can walk around a military barracks and you ask someone for some Prozac, and somebody's got some Prozac or some Xanax or some Zoloft.
I've got friends who were in the Army with me who are now dependent on Zoloft and psychotropic drugs just because they got used to it in Iraq and they didn't ever want to get off it, and now they're dependent on it and addicted to it.
We have huge numbers of military people on antidepressants, and instead of the suicide rate going down, which you'd expect if the drugs were effective, the suicide rate is going up.
This last January, we had more soldiers commit suicide than we had die in combat. And what's not being brought out much yet is the fact that the large majority of these soldiers were on these drugs. We're drugging the military at a rate we've never, ever seen before.
Y esto es solo el principio. Los programas de test de salud mental para los militares se planean para 43 clínicas en 15 bases por todo Estados Unidos, Alemania e Italia. Los estudios revelan que hasta el 12% de los que prestan servicio en Irak y el 17% de los que están en Afganistán toman algún tipo de antidepresivo o pastilla para dormir, un total de 20,000 miembros en servicio. Pero esta cifra palidece en comparación con las cifras de mujeres embarazadas o en la etapa postnatal que podrían ser drogadas si las leyes de test psiquiátricos obligatorios se hicieran una realidad.
And when a woman is pregnant, right during the pregnancy, specifically right afterwards, her hormones are changing and sometimes raging. And to screen them and call it mental illness, if they have any type of emotional issues in any way, shape, or form, is utterly ludicrous.
Incluso sin leyes que lo impongan, madres futuras podrían recibir test para enfermedades mentales y ni siquiera saberlo. Aquí hay algunas mujeres encuestadas al salir de los consultorios de sus médicos.
Have you ever been screened for mental illness?
I have not been screened for mental illness. No, I've never been screened for any mental illness.
I don't remember any pre-screening.
I have not been.
No. No?
Have you ever been screened for any mental illness?
No, I have not been screened for any mental illness.
Did your OB/GYN or gynecologist have you fill out a questionnaire that contains psychological questions?
Yes, my OB/GYN did give me a questionnaire that has psychological questions.
I've never been screened for mental illness. Yes, I would say the first time I went to see my OB/GYN, I did fill out questionnaires about even family medical history, my mental state.
I've not been screened for any mental illness or depression. I took a questionnaire in my 6-week checkup, and it basically asked me about if I was crying, if I felt depressed.
Yeah, it was a questionnaire about depression. If you're depressed, or if you had any history of depression.
Are you happy with your normal day? Are you happy about being pregnant?
Or have you ever hurt yourself? Or are you happy? If I feel like hurting someone, if I was angry.
Do mental illness run in your family?
You know, it was very noticeable to me after the pregnancy that they're actually fishing for the postpartum depression.
When I was pregnant with my daughter, before I had her, I had to take postpartum depression medicine from my 7th month on to my 9th month.
¿Y hacia dónde conducen estos tests? A programas como la poco conocida estratagema para drogar a la gente formulada originalmente en Texas en el 95, llamada Proyecto Algorítmico de Medicación de Texas, o TMAP.
TMAP is a program that was originated starting in the 90s, a collaborative group of doctors from University of Texas and the Texas Department of Mental Health and Mental Retardation. And what it was supposed to do is come up with the best practice for treating mental illness.
Usando financiación de investigación de 11 empresas farmacéuticas distintas, este panel, dominado por psiquiatras, creó un diagrama de flujos paso a paso que requería que se prescribieran solo los más recientes y más caros fármacos para los pacientes con problemas mentales. Y si uno de estos psicotrópicos no funcionara, los médicos estaban obligados a usar otro que fuera caro. Y si no funcionaba ninguno, el paso siguiente sería el tratamiento de electrochoque. Pero los que dirigen TMAP estaban ocultando un conflicto de interés de magnitud.
They didn't disclose that the researchers that were all involved in creating this, almost every single one of them had financial relationships with the pharmaceutical companies.
Pero Texas no es el único estado con problemas de corrupción. Alan Jones era un investigador de la Oficina del Inspector General de Pensilvania.
I learned that these monies were all coming in to the state to support and to promote a program called TMAP, the Texas Medication Algorithm Project. And so my concern was piqued very quickly that there was at least one state official who might be inappropriately receiving and dispersing monies from drug companies. They called it PenMap, but it was based entirely on the TMAP model. Also very quickly, I learned that there were other state employees who were serving on advisory boards financed through various pharmaceutical companies, and other state employees who were accepting honorariums personally, directly, from drug companies for speaking in their state capacities or official capacities. That's a felony in Pennsylvania. I saw there was a much bigger picture and attempted to surface that bigger picture and was consistently told to back off. I was told that drug companies write checks to politicians on both sides of the aisle. back off. You will not expand this investigation into the drug companies. Continue to press the investigation, much of it on my own time at this point. I became increasingly alarmed that all of the drugs recommended by the TMAP program were exclusively the new patented atypical antipsychotics for schizophrenia and all of the brand new patented SSRI antidepressants. None of it added up. When it became obvious to me that my investigation was not going to be permitted to continue, and it became obvious to the Inspector General's office that I was not going to stop, I was removed from lead investigator on the case. They threatened me with loss of career, with loss of job, with loss of reputation, essentially.
A pesar de la investigación que resultó en la condena del farmacéutico en jefe de Pensilvania, TMAP y otras ramificaciones como PenMap se extendieron por todo el país, generando miles de millones de dólares en ventas de fármacos. Pero el chance psiquiátrico viene con un costo público muy grande. En el 2001, TMAP y su equivalente para los niños, CMAP, llevó a la bancarrota al programa de Medicaid de Texas y a los sistemas de salud mental y penitenciario del estado. Así que, ¿qué es lo que vemos en el cuadro final? Un programa de test de salud mental del gobierno, financiado por el contribuyente, en donde a cada persona que los psiquiatras juzgan con enfermedad mental, le dan poderosos fármacos psicotrópicos peligrosos y muy caros. Y si no funcionan, se les da tratamiento de electrochoque.
They're going to start with school children on the New Freedom Initiative. Then they're going to move it to senior citizen nursing homes. Then they're going to move it to, of course, military. And then parents.
By the time you're 18, you've been screened in utero when you were an infant. You were screened as an infant when you first came out. You were screened in your daycare. You were screened then at school. You were screened at the pediatrician's office. You're screened in high school. You're screened over and over again.
And to sit there and pass laws requiring that people be screened and drugged based on screening under state law or federal law is really, it's criminal. It should not be done.
They're marketing this madness all over this country, and we are actually becoming an example for the rest of the world. So we're, again, the poster child, if you will, and so the rest of the world is spending more and more on drugs.
I don't know that there was ever a time in the history of the world where people have been drugged to the extent of what we're seeing today.
The reality is, if you look at the overall picture, I don't see these drugs helping us make a better society. We see it in the military, we see it in our children, we see it in the schools. These drugs are not working to make a better society.
Y con las campañas de marketing de las enfermedades mentales ocultas yendo a toda marcha, ¿qué les pasa a los pacientes una vez diagnosticados y entregados a la máquina de medicación psicotrópica?